Our next debate, ladies and gentlemen, be it resolved that trade unions should be banned. Vlad is representing the government in support of this motion, and David is representing the opposition in opposition of this motion. Please welcome Vlad to start the debate.
Madam Speaker, just a point of order before we begin. This was the last debate that nobody was willing to sign up for. So the only way I could conceivably argue this debate, and this is a sort of monkey wrench for my esteemed colleague, is this debate will be argued by the Prime Minister who was elected from the National Socialist Party. So with that in mind, we shall begin. Madam Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, the motion before us is trade unions should be banned and is defined as follows. Trade unions, the subversive elements masquerading as defenders of workers' rights. Should be means must be, and means destroy. With that in mind, let us begin. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Speaker, there's a very good reason, well, there's a very good reason why my learned opponent is on the other side of the aisle. I don't need to tell you the grave danger that we find ourselves today. We have witnessed the secession of Quebec under the humiliating and draconian terms of the Treaty of Buffalo. We were forced to withdraw from the Niagara Peninsula, and the mighty Russian bear is clawing at our ancestral lands in the great white north. Canada is under attack, ladies and gentlemen. We have shortages. As you can see, the Prime Minister's office is taking notes on quarter-sheet size of paper. But we have the people's mandate. We have been democratically elected, and the Canadian people have put their trust in us. Now, what has been the role of the trade unions in all of this? Well, it's a cowardly and shameful role. For over 100 years, they've been badgering us for more pay and benefits, more pay and benefits. Well, there's no place for that in the new Canada. Trade unions would have us believe that discipline is a dirty word. It is not. In the new Canada, we need discipline. And this government, with the people's mandate, promises an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. In the new Canada, trade unions serve no purpose. I would not suggest that you vote against this motion. Thank you.
I'm a victim of the left hand not knowing what the right is doing. They told me tonight at the cell before I came here that I would probably be exposed. So I think my cover has been blown. However, if you put me away or destroy me or whatever, how will you tell the difference between me and any bona fide representative of the working man, those running dogs of capitalism that you so dearly wish to put down? How can you tell the chaff from the grain? How will you winnow it? It's impossible. If I stand up and say that there is no way of handling large workforces, say 100,000 teachers in the province of Ontario, other than collective agreements, surely, God, you cannot argue that all of these people should be paid willy-nilly individually, and principals hiring their nieces and nephews and brothers-in-laws and so forth. You have total chaos in the workplace. Certainly the National Socialist Party, looking for some kind of control, has to have a way of doing that. Therefore, they must have a semblance of some kind of collectivity imposed on their workforce. Surely you must agree with that. And what will you do when those representatives, and they may be friends of mine, agents provocateurs, posing as representatives, if they say that the whole history of social legislation, right from the suffragette movement to safety to the corn laws to the laws repealing child labor and so forth, all have come at the hands of the trade unions. You cannot turn back the clock and take us screaming back into the 14th century to your relatives on the Spanish Inquisition, my friend. surely you must realize that the collective agreement is the only capital the poor man has. Thank you, brother. Oh, one more minute. Well, and what will you do when, like all fascist parties, when they hit their stride, the first thing they go for is to put down the unions, because the unions are the collective voice of the common people. Therein lies the enemy. And you will end up being the poser, having to put down the people's representatives, the people's movement. For whom? The sake of the people? No, my friend, you will be exposed. You have everything to lose. Me, just my chains. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Speaker, this government must wonder, where was the vim, where was the vigor, where was the rhetoric when the people of Canada had an opportunity to make their choice? People of Canada have made their choice, and this government has won an overwhelming majority at the poll. We have been democratically elected, and we have the popular mandate to advance our program. Our program is simple. One Canada, one people, one leader. We have... Mr. Harper. We have no relatives in the Spanish Inquisition. Maybe our esteemed opponents do, but we are Canadian. We're not turning back the clock. We're advancing the clock. As a matter of fact, the next motion of this government will be to break with the convention of the time zones, and we're going to have one Canadian time zone. I would not vote against this resolution if I were you.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you. Be it resolved that... I don't even remember what that was.
Unions must be banned.
Something should be
Trade
banned.
unions.
Trade unions should be banned. Thank you. Thank you. Who votes in favor of the government before the government leaves? Who's afraid enough to vote in favor of the government? 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 in favor of the government, and who votes in favor of the opposition? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for the opposition. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good day.